What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to He's Going Mad. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my Stu Macher surviving Scream 1 theory. Now remember, this is just my opinion, so feel free to disagree. Now, for those of you that don't already know, Matthew Lillard, the actor that has played Stu Macher in Scream 1, is returning to play his role in Scream 7. Yes, finally, those on the Stu train, we made it. Finally. It's been some time. A lot of doubters saying it wasn't gonna happen. I just knew it was a matter of time. But anyway, Scott Foley, the actor that played Roman Bridger, Sidney's brother, is also coming back for Scream 7. Now, we don't know if he's playing Roman or not, or a new character, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like a flashback or something, or hallucination, because if any one of the killers dead, is Roman. He got shot in the head and got shot 12 times in his body. Dewey killed him. He's done. But I believe he could come back in like a flashback scene. Maybe they can do some de-aging on him and stuff, and they have a flashback where it's him showing Billy and Stu how to get away with the murders, Marine's murder. Whatever they end up doing, I think it's gonna work, and we're all gonna love it. I have faith in Kevin Williamson, the writer of Scream 1. He created this franchise and hasn't had full control over the movies since the first one. I think he's gonna steer it in the right direction. He's not gonna steer us wrong. Anyway, on to the Stu theory. Now, for those of you that still don't believe or understand how Stu could have survived and how he's able to return for Scream 7, I'm gonna break down my theory for you. So at the end of the movie, when Gail's outside reporting the murders and stuff, and the ambulance and the police is right there loading up all the bodies, getting ready to go to the hospital, they see that Stu is twitching. They see that he's still alive, and Sheriff Burke takes that opportunity to go and call the Machers, Stu's parents. Let's say they're close with Sheriff Burke, and he wants them to know what kind of trouble their son is about to get into. Maybe they can work things out. They got a lot of money. Look at their freaking house, man. Well, then you might say, how did Sheriff Burke get that past the public? Like, how did he fool everybody? You have to have a body and stuff. They have to have an autopsy. Well, Mike over at We Watch the Movie here on YouTube has a theory that one of the drunk kids that left Stu's party to go see Principal Henry, maybe they crashed. They was drunk. They was driving drunk. Maybe they crashed and died. And they're out of nowhere at Stu's house, in the middle of nowhere. Nobody could have seen that. So maybe they switched up one of the bodies, and maybe they got some of Stu's DNA, his hair or teeth or something like that. I don't know. A good writer could make it work. It's there. But yeah, then they would sell their house and move to another state where Stu would change his name and spend the next year recovering. During this time, while he's locked in the house, not able to leave, he starts to really get into the internet, and he discovers a killer website where he finds Mickey. Remember in Scream 2 where Billy's mom, Mrs. Loomis, says that she found Mickey on a killer website on the internet, but we all know that she wasn't on the internet back then in the 90s. Moms these days barely even know how to work the internet. She would have needed somebody young like Stu, and she knew Stu, her son's best friend, to help her out. Now, Stu tells her he's all for helping getting Sidney back, but he can't do it physically himself because he's still shaking back from his injuries from getting a TV smashed on his head and getting stabbed so many times. So he tells her about Mickey, how he met him and stuff, and how they can use him to get back at Sidney. But he's also going to keep an eye on him. And that explains why we see him in the background of Scream 2 at the party. So after his plan to get Nancy Loomis and Mickey to kill Sidney fails, he goes back into hiding for a couple more years. Then one day he gets an email from Roman asking if he's available to meet up. Now at first, Stu was a little fishy about it, like, how did he even get his email? He don't know. But at this point, nobody even knew who Roman was except for Billy and Stu, and Billy's dead, so it had to be real. Stu eventually ends up meeting with Roman, and that's where they start their plan on how they're gonna finally take out Sidney for good. And this time, Stu is finally physically able to be Ghostface again, and it explains that he's Roman's secret accomplice. Roman was never a single killer. He always had a partner, I knew, and I always knew it was Stu. Stu says, "I killed your mom" on Scream 3. The Ghostface says that, and I always knew it was Stu. So after the events of Scream 3, Stu survives again, and he goes back into hiding for another 10 years. And during that time, this is when he slowly starts to build his cult, as the rise of internet starts to become more and more famous, and the Stab franchise is getting more famous too and more popular. So he meets Charlie, and he gets Charlie to talk Jill into becoming a Ghostface and turning on Sidney. And she had her own plan, little did he know. So Stu's the one that made Charlie enforce the love of the Stab movies, try to draw people into liking them more so he could have more recruits and stuff. Well, after he fails once again after Scream 4, he realizes it's going to be way harder than he thought to take out Sidney, Dewey, and Gale. So after Scream 4, as enough time has passed, 15 years went by, he don't have to hide as much no more as he used to. Enough people have forgot about him and just don't believe that he will still be alive. So one day he's in Minnesota just walking around, and he runs into this young man, a teenager, that notices him. He starts to freak out at first. He starts to get nervous that his cover's blown. But the teenager's like, nah, it's cool. I look up to you. I know who you are. At this point, he sees something in him. He recognizes, like, it's familiar. It reminds him of Charlie, how Charlie used to act. And he's like, I could take this kid under my wing. The kid is Richie. So a couple years go by, and he has Richie, basically the recruiter, drawing all the cult in and picking out individually who he wants. He recruited Greg, Jason, and he went and got Amber. And Amber's family has a lot of money, so he tells her to buy back his old house so they can finally get Sidney back in there once and for all. Sam and Tara. Sam and Tara's mom, Christina Carpenter, went to school with Billy and Stu, and she was involved with Billy. She cheated on her boyfriend to get with Billy and have Sam. So I think she also was messing with Stu, in my opinion, too. If she was cheating on her boyfriend, and why would she not cheat on Billy too? She messed with both of them. She's kind of crazy herself. She had a thing for serial killers. Maybe she can be Stu's accomplice. However they want to do it, it can work. So it eventually comes out that Billy is Sam's father. Stu took advantage of this and made Richie go out with Sam because she had some kind of connection with Sidney, and she can draw Sidney in. And that's exactly what happened. So Stu is definitely the one that killed Dewey. He just made Amber take credit for it so his cover wouldn't be blown as the cult leader. So in Scream 6, I don't think that Richie's family knew that Stu was alive, and he wasn't helping them. They wasn't helping each other at all. He was doing his own thing. They was doing their own thing. So he was just gonna let them do their own thing and fix any mistakes that they made, like go up behind them. I think he was the one that tried to kill Gail in that scene where she went to the hospital at the end. He's finally trying to get them one by one. He got Dewey, tried to get Gail. Now in Scream 7, he's opening up. He's going to try to get Sidney's daughters. I'm telling you, that's my theory. He's going to kidnap Sidney's daughters. And that's the only way that she's going to come out of hiding. I think the opening scene of Scream 7 is going to be a flashback of the night that they killed Maureen Prescott, Sidney's mom. It just makes perfect sense on why Roman is coming back, why Stu is coming back. They're going to make the flashback and make it seem like Stu's not even in the whole movie. And at the end, he's going to reveal that he's been the cult leader the whole time. And it's going to lead into a cliffhanger, and it's going to lead into Scream 8. I think that Scream 7 is probably going to be the best Scream so far since the original. And that's just from what I'm hearing. I really think it's going to be that good. Kevin Williamson has full control, and he knows what he's doing. This cast is so amazing. Everything I heard. The twins are coming back, the Meeks twins, Gail, Sydney, her kids, Stu, Roman, maybe even Kirby. I heard that Tara's maybe even coming back. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm ready. They took their time with this one, and I'm telling you, Scream 7 is going to be that one. I'm telling you, it's going to be the one. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. That's my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me in the comments what y'all like to see. Later.